Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Got you an update on your forecast. Made it to a Friday, and we made it to some high pressure and mostly dry weather for a while. In Charleston, with our frontal passage, we missed the hit or miss accumulated rain yesterday. Not enough for a number. Officially a trace at Toledo, so our August to date precipitation remains at a very high 10.33 inches. Our second wettest August on record, if that's where it ends up. Total over the next 5 days, our next chance of showers will be like Tuesday night into Wednesday. Again, it'll be a while until we're favorable for rain again. Some southeastern areas of the state, though, locally had some either severe level winds or wind damage with storms yesterday. You still have a general chance of a thunderstorm today. That front is near stationary. It's mostly into Virginia that have the isolated severe weather, but in far southern and eastern areas of the state can't rule out a morning thunderstorm and then another slight chance in the afternoon. Charleston, we're favored to be dry and sunny. Fly-saver forecast, it starts at home. Spots like Orlando, Tampa, and Florida still watching for heavy rain and some 90-degree heat out there. Charlotte, risk of some scattered flash flooding in the Carolinas. They're at 87 today. From Panhandle to Panhandle, dry. Highs near 80, give or take. Mostly sunny to partly sunny skies and perhaps some dense fog in the morning for areas of the state again. Highs in the 70s and 80s out east. A slight chance of an afternoon shower and storm. Highs mid to upper 80s in the eastern Panhandle. Across our northern areas, it's generally near and east of the high terrain, where a slight chance of a shower and storm does exist today. And a slight chance down to the south as well. Not expecting strong or severe weather this time. And Charleston, expecting it to be dry for a while. We do have a warming trend, though. Some increasing warm to hot conditions and humidity late in the weekend and continues early next week. Highs in the 90s, topping near 94 on Tuesday. Wednesday, chance of rain and thunder.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
Made it to a Friday. If you think state politics is nutty, wait till we get into this show. It's MetroNews Talkline. We are underway.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the MetroNews Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is MetroNews Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set line up link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Dave and TJ. You're on. MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Made it to a Friday edition of MetroNews Talkline. Steam release coming up 11:33 this morning. Your chance to vent, get it all off your chest. Say good morning to our great radio affiliates across the state of West Virginia. We appreciate you letting us be part of your day. Also, if you're watching in on the MetroNews TV app, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live, we appreciate you as well. Phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Text us at 304-TALK-304. You can text throughout the show. We can have a dialogue. We can have a conversation. We can have a discussion. It's all the same thing. But once we get to 11:33, we cannot comment, so choose wisely. Coming up this morning, Mike Nolting will join us from the WAJR newsroom. Right at the end of the show on Wednesday, I left you with a cliffhanger that things were getting nutty in Monongalia County. We'll explain what happened this week and where that story is. Also, Chris Stirewalt will join us. We'll get into politics with Chris. Maybe he's in a little bit better of a mood than he was last Friday. We'll find out. Steam release coming up. Ben Salango, speaking of what's happening at the local level, things getting a little nutty, the Kanawha County Commission president, he will join us at the bottom of the hour as well. With all that, we got Kyle Wiggs on phones today. We've got Jake Link at the video controls. We've got TJ Meadows on his perch in the Encova Insurance Studios South. Good morning, sir.
Good morning on my perch. You know, Dave, 2020's, I don't either, but I'm here. 2026 just won't quit, man. I saw last night, happened yesterday, but I missed it during the day. Peter Cullen. You may not know the name, but that's the voice of Optimus Prime. The voice of Eeyore. That one hit hard, too. I mean, that was kind of a thing. The cartoon was a big thing in my childhood. And then, you know, obviously all the movies and stuff. But 26 just won't stop.
It's been rough, man. It's been a rough week with Tim Curry, of course, Dolly, the voice of Optimus Prime. I was looking, I saw a tweet, or was it the tweet or an Instagram, of the celebrities that have passed away. And, you know, they always do this every year in memoriam, but some of them you go, oh, I forgot that was this year. That was just this year. Man, it's been a long year and a quick year. It's already, can you believe it'll be September next week? We're going into Labor Day weekend.
It is crazy, and the only thing that makes me believe it is you got that chill in the air in the morning, which I'm just loving. We talked about that a few days ago. I go out on the porch, you know, sip my coffee. Man, it's great. I love it.
It's football weather. By the way, high school football kicked off last night. Fred, I forgot to mention, Fred Persinger is going to be by. Starting his 25th season of MetroNews High School Game Night with Dave Jecklin. We'll talk to him in a little bit as well. All right, let's dive into a couple of things that, we're left on the plate, if you will, heading into the weekend. Yesterday afternoon, Mr. Meadows caught this and pointed it out that there was a major deal for a new data center under construction in Mason County. Of course, we're talking about the InScale and Monarch Compute campus. Various business reports, TJ, said that Anthropic, which runs Claude AI, will pay InScale $45 billion. That's $45 billion with a B over 6 years to rent out about a third of the storage space coming at InScale's Monarch Compute campus just north of Point Pleasant. The big deal is what in this story, TJ?
So the big deal is, and first off, let me say congratulations to Brody Ford of Bloomberg. He broke this story and got the scoop on it. Don't know how he did it, but he did it. So congratulations to him. The big deal here is when you think about data centers and you think about data center developers such as InScale, you either have a key customer, an anchor tenant, if you will, an off-taker that is going to solidify the investment that you are making. So what they're doing at InScale, they're building this facility using the latest NVIDIA technology, filling it up with what is known as graphic processing units, GPUs. And then they have to go out into the market and find an end user to actually use that computing power. In this case, they have found that with Anthropic. And not only are they in the beginnings of a deal, according to the Bloomberg report, Brody's reporting, this thing is inked. $45 billion over 6 years, Dave, renting out a third, just a third, mind you, of that facility over a 6-year period. What does it mean to West Virginia? Who cares? Well, here's why we should care. We talked to InScale earlier in the week, and they told us about the report that EY put together in terms of how this would affect the community. Permanent jobs, 2,000 permanent jobs, 181 million in permanent income, a GDP between construction and ongoing revenue of well over $4 billion, 105 million in taxes to Mason County. Now that you have an anchor, the odds of that estimate becoming reality are drastically improved. You have a customer, someone's on the hook for take or pay. It's a big deal, and that's what makes it a big deal for the state of West Virginia.
I was reading an article and in fact, it was just this morning. I think it was out of the Columbus Dispatch, but the author was making the argument, TJ, we have to, as a public, rethink or reevaluate how we perceive these data centers, not as just big warehouses with computers, but look at them as the 21st century version of manufacturing. And the author pointed to was it Merck that announced that they had made a breakthrough in a cancer vaccine this week, some sort of cancer treatment there. It was developed using AI, developed using artificial intelligence. And the author made the comparison, this is, again, we've heard this is our version of the Industrial Revolution, but not to view data centers as, again, big warehouses with computers, but as manufacturing facilities for these types of future innovation. They are manufacturing innovation. It's hard to wrap your brain around, but I get what he's trying to say, and I think this is an example of it. Look what Anthropic has done already with Claude, for example, and what it can do moving forward. This is a manufacturing center in Mason County.
Absolutely. And AI and data and the ability to bring power to data that can be fundamentally transformed into whatever the human mind can collaborate on with AI and generate. That is our new product. We talk about onshoring. Nothing wrong with that. We want to bring back this is the new manufacturing, to your point, the second industrial revolution. That's why it's so important that we lead and not follow when it comes to the Chinese and what the Chinese are doing. Look, for all of its capitalistic tendencies, and they have some, China's still a communist nation, not one that is necessarily trustworthy, not one that we are pals with. So do you want an American version of AI and what American capitalism can bring from AI? Or do you want the Chinese equivalent of that? I know which one I'm going to pick. So we are very much in this race, and I wrote about this a bit today in my commentary as a side note. It kind of harkens back to, oh my goodness, there's a red satellite hovering in the space above us called Sputnik. The Russians are beating us. We have to do something. A little bit of the same mentality when it comes to the competition with China and AI would be a healthy thing, in my opinion.
You know, going back to your commentary, and there are a lot of concerns that float out there, TJ, in the public when we're talking about data centers, whether it's water usage, how that water is treated, power usage, and you got into that in your commentary this morning. A lot of that, looking back, and I wanted to get your thought on this. Did the tech bros, and I read a commentary that made this case, the tech bros, if you will, scare quotes, but the leaders in this industry seem to have forgotten to sell their product to the people that were going to be living right next to it, the folks impacted directly. They sold it to Congress, they sold it to the White House, they sold it to governors, they sold it to legislatures, but they didn't count on people in Mason County, living in Point Pleasant. They didn't count on people in Berkeley County, not really concerned with the AI race in China, not really concerned. Maybe they don't even trust big tech for whatever reason, probably because of some of the decisions made over the last decade. They didn't go sell to them, and that's why now you come back after the fact trying to dispel the misinformation that's out there about power usage, about water usage. You're trying to, because that void got filled. While they were talking over here, the void got filled over there, and now you're behind the eight ball trying to sell this now to people who have to live around these new facilities. Does that make any sense? Do you see where I'm headed there?
It does. I see where you're headed. I think that's fair. I think if no one is at the microphone talking, and if no one is having coffee with the local county commission and local thought leaders at a county or a municipal level, it's a problem. And I think a lot of the big tech companies weren't used to that because they didn't have to do that before. They didn't have to earn that support, where now they do. I also think it's somewhat ironic that their own platforms are being leveraged against them in what I very much believe is a propaganda machine. I mean, that void that you talk about that has been filled, the people that are filling it are using big tech's own inventions against them. They just are. I know this isn't popular. I heard it all last night. I get it. But I'm telling you, there is not good backed empirical evidence that data centers raise power bills. It's just not there. It's complicated. You have to understand what is raising a power bill. We have to rebuild a grid that's 80, 90 years old in some instances. Guess what? Wooden poles, steel, wire, what it cost 90 years ago, it's a lot more today. And you got to rebuild it, because if you want the light to come on when you flip the switch, you have to rebuild the grid. We have more storms than we've ever had. We're putting more storm restoration costs into rates these days and capturing them over a number of years. The cost of natural gas increases. It's a commodity. That's what happens. The cost of coal has increased. It's a commodity. That's what happens. None of that is really, the data center influx hasn't really hit yet. We're still using capacity that we still have. We're going to need more. But that is really what is raising your power bill. And then you look to Indiana, Michigan Power, also an AEP utility, just as APCO is here. Dave, this year alone, they have asked for 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 rate decreases. They went to their commission and said, may we lower the rates? And the reason they did that, more load on the system to spread out fixed cost. And where is that load coming from? Data centers.
We've got more over at the website, wvmetronews.com. You can read TJ's commentary. You can also read the story about the report about Anthropic investing $45 billion in that Monarch Compute campus in Mason County. Coming up, I told you on Wednesday, right at the end of the show, things are getting nutty in Montague County. We'll get Mike Nolting on to explain.
Ready to reach the finish line of retirement? At the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group, we provide comprehensive guidance for retirement planning in West Virginia. With years of experience, we'll draft a plan tailored for your unique goals. Whether you're just starting or nearing retirement, we make the process as simple as possible, easy, and stress-free. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to set up a complimentary consultation and get started on your plan today. Let's work toward your dream retirement together.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Kanawha, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. And being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
This week on the Metro News Television Game of the Week powered by GoMart, the Grafton Bearcats travel to Philip Barber for the Week 1 matchup. Join us Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. for complete live coverage from George Breyer Field. Watch live on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook. Bearcats versus Colts. Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. The Metro News Television Game of the Week, powered by GoMart.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Kanawha County Commission President Ben Salango going to join us bottom of the hour. Some wild things happening there in Kanawha County, trying to fill a vacant seat on the commission. We'll get to that. Chris Stirewalt, Fred Persinger are going to join us as well. Phone number is 800-765-TALK, and the text line is 304-TALK-304. Couple of texts, 304-TALK-304. Hey, Dave and TJ, people that complain about data centers also complain that the government is not doing enough, welfare, school funding, infrastructure, but hate any development that could increase income. Foreign adversaries are driving this anti-data center fever. Tell people how many people will work at a data center. 8 to 15. Tell me how many jobs it will eliminate in the future. Thousands or maybe millions. And your utilities will go up. That's fact, says the texter.
If you are to believe the Ernst & Young study on the Mason Center, which I do, which was done using a long-respected model called M-Plan. During the construction period, 6,200 jobs. Those are temporary. Annual operations, ongoing, permanent jobs, both direct and indirect at the center, nearly 2,100. Be glad to look at some data that says otherwise, but I need data.
This text actually came in. It's too good not to read it on the air. Harrison County Delegate Clay Riley was on WAJR this morning, and the texter says, Clay Riley is a good man, doing great things, yet he could not hit a baseball in high school. Signed, a Liberty High friend. That was too good not to read. Too good. We'll see him. I think he'll be at the Greenbrier next week for the Chamber of Commerce.
I would imagine,
summit.
yeah.
We'll probably see. We will double confirm that story.
Bring a ball and a bat and a glove, and we'll go out on the patio and we'll see what happens.
Earlier this week, Montague County Commission met and things got a little nutty. Commissioner Jeff Arnett took exception to a social media post. Here's what Jeff Arnett had to say in the meeting.
Now, this act is both abhorrent and offensive on many levels, and it is so even if Tom hadn't spent the last 3 decades of his life improving the lives of residents of Montague County, even if he hadn't spent 30-plus years helping students as a guidance counselor in our public school system.
He was calling out a post, an AI image showing County Commission President Tom Bloom in a military uniform in the style of Nazi Germany, perhaps Soviet Union, perhaps North Korea. That was in response to the County Commission purchasing and installing flock cameras around the county. Mike Nolting is on WAJR, our Morgantown flagship. From the newsroom, he joins us this morning. Mike, things are ratcheting up a notch in Montague County. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. Yes, I think that's a very fair statement.
So what's going on? What exactly is going on here? What was the post? Who made the post? Why'd this come up in a meeting anyway?
Well, the post was made by Kirsten Nelson, who is a county captain for the Democrat U.S. Senate campaign for Rachel Fetty Anderson. She's running against Republican Shelley Moore Capito. And the post, I guess, Tom has really kind of taken the heat. He is the commission president. About 2 weeks ago, it really came to a head in terms of council rules. A lot of the people that were commenting negatively about Flock, they were doing so using a lot of vulgar language. They were doing so with a lot of personal attacks. And when they were asked to give their names and addresses, once the vulgarity and the personal attacks started, then there were a lot fewer people willing to comply with that. Bloom insisted that the rules be followed, and one of the people that addressed the commission said, fine, you can go ahead and take me out of here and do it, and I'll sue you. And so the county commission rules kind of hijacked the whole Flock debate. And gentlemen, that's where we're at right now, because we're talking about a meme that has been reposted on social media instead of flock cameras. Now, getting back to the meme, Kirsten Nelson, the captain with the Democrat U.S. Senate candidate for Rachel Fetty Anderson, she also ran as a Democrat for the House of Delegates in District 80, and she's now applying for an open seat on Morgantown City Council. She's new to politics. It's kind of a head-scratcher why someone new to politics might use a meme instead of their ideas.
Couple points. Number one, if you're going to stand up in a public meeting and share your opinion, you should have the conviction to share your name.
Well, but
end of story.
Yeah,
I mean,
but really, TJ, I mean, I think that's an important part of connecting with your elected officials, because if they know who you are and where you live, then they know what you're dealing with.
No, that's fair, Mike. That's fair. The other thing on this meme, I haven't seen it, but how you described it. Look, Tom and I probably don't agree on flock cameras fully. We've had good civil debate. He's always been a very generous, nice person to me, and I've tried to reciprocate that to him. The one thing about AI, a good thing, when people do this, It is a chance for us to see who they really are. And as I always say, when someone shows you who they really are, believe them.
And Mike, the other part of this story that has to be pointed out, and the reason this takes on a little bit different significance, Tom Bloom's Jewish.
He is. And he's the only Jewish member of the commission. And although all three commission members have been attacked personally, it's been Commissioner Bloom who has been the lone person to be depicted in that manner and to really be heavily called out with memes on social media. And guys, I got to tell you, a meme? Come on now.
Hey, you did speak to Kirsten Nelson. What did she have to say?
Kirsten Nelson said that this was a repost from something called Otis Wallbanger. And I know, anything that I ever did and blamed on something called a wallbanger, that was a bad personal choice. I can tell you that. But no, she looked at it as being slanderous against her.
Okay. Mike Nolting, WAJR Newsroom. You can the story's still posted up over at the website, wvmetronews.com.
Hey, take it easy on my buddy Clay, would you?
Well, I'm just reporting what sources are telling us,
Come on, be nice.
We'll find out if he can hit the curveball next week.
All right.
Mike, great job. Keep on it, buddy. Thank you. Told you, things are getting nuts. We'll continue in a moment. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Got you an update on your forecast. Made it to a Friday, and we made it to some high pressure and mostly dry weather for a while. In Charleston, with our frontal passage, we missed the hit-or-miss accumulated rain yesterday. Not enough for a number. Officially a trace at Toledo, so our August-to-date precipitation remains at a very high 10.33 inches. Our second wettest August on record, if that's where it ends up. Total over the next 5 days, our next chance of showers will be like Tuesday night into Wednesday. Again, it'll be a while until we're favorable for rain again. Some southeastern areas of the state, though, locally had some either severe level winds or wind damage with storms yesterday. You still have a general chance of a thunderstorm today. That front is near stationary. It's mostly into Virginia that have the isolated severe weather, but in far southern and eastern areas of the state can't rule out a morning thunderstorm and then another slight chance in the afternoon. Charleston, we're favored to be dry and sunny. Fly-saver forecast, it starts at home. Spots like Orlando, Tampa, and Florida still watching for heavy rain and some 90-degree heat out there. Charlotte, risk of some scattered flash flooding in the Carolinas. They're at 87 today. From Panhandle to Panhandle, dry. Highs near 80, give or take. Mostly sunny to partly sunny skies and perhaps some dense fog in the morning for areas of the state again. Highs in the 70s and 80s out east. A slight chance of an afternoon shower and storm. Highs mid to upper 80s in the eastern Panhandle. Across our northern areas, it's generally near and east of the high terrain, where a slight chance of a shower and storm does exist today. And a slight chance down to the south as well. Not expecting strong or severe weather this time. And Charleston, expecting it to be dry for a while. We do have a warming trend, though. Some increasing warm to hot conditions and humidity late in the weekend and continues early next week. Highs in the 90s, topping near 94 on Tuesday. Wednesday, chance of rain and thunder.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
On the next State of Minds.
I was in liver failure and I was told I needed to quit drinking or I was going to die, and that was at 36. When he invited me to church, all the hair on my arms, my chest, my back, it all stood up. You're taught to love, you're taught to forgive, and there's a reason for that. It lets you be healthy and lets you move forward with a vision for your life that's not defined by what happened to you.
Text us 304-TALK 304. Phone number's 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. And the last segment was exactly why I wrote the commentary I did back on Tuesday. Flock cameras, for example, a lot of serious questions there about how we integrate AI into public safety and policing, or whether we integrate it at all. Fourth Amendment issues, data collection, who are you sharing that data with, all the above. And you can either have an adult conversation about things, like I think we have here in this forum. We're talking to police chiefs, we talked to law enforcement, we talked to the Institute for Justice, we've talked to city council members in different locations. Or you can act like a 3-year-old and post anti-Semitic memes online and go cause a scene at a county commission meeting. I would prefer to act like adults.
Will you help me out? Because it's first I'm hearing about this, and I want to make sure I got it right. Some person, this person, and you can tell me who in a minute, took an image of Tom Bloom and put him into a Nazi or Russian or some kind of Axis uniform. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Hey, that's a T-shirt. We need to get this T-shirt business going, man. We've got like 7 T-shirt ideas. We need to get this cranked up.
That's beyond politics. That's just disappointing as humankind.
And look what we're talking, and that distracts from the actual conversation that needs to take place. The actual conversation about privacy concerns, Fourth Amendment issues, how you integrate these, if you integrate them at all. That's the conversation that needs to be happening. And it doesn't help. It does not help your position if that's the route you choose to take. But I digress. All right, more craziness at the local level in our biggest county in the state of West Virginia, Kanawha County. Remember, former Commissioner Lance Wheeler was appointed to the Ambulance Authority down in Kanawha County. That left an open seat on the Kanawha County Commission. So the local Republican Executive Committee presented 3 names to county commissioners for consideration for filling that vacant seat. Yesterday, prior to the county commission meeting, commissioners received a letter. 2 of the nominees said, "Don't pick us because we're not going to serve." And that threw a whole new wrinkle into the conversation. County Commission President for Kanawha County is Ben Salango. He joins us on MetroNews Talkline. Ben, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning. Hey, if you like politics and you like drama, the Kanawha County Commission was the place to be last night.
So what is going on, man? What's happening down there?
So if you go back to, Lance Wheeler took the Ambulance Authority job. By the way, he's doing a great job over there. He's already saved almost $500,000. He's restructuring things, doing a great job. But that left a vacancy. Under state code, then Commissioner Tennant and I have an opportunity to interview candidates and agree on a selection. It's no secret that I support Jared Page. He's the Republican nominee. And I moved for Jared to be the next Kanawha County Commissioner. Natalie Tennant does not support Jared Page, so she didn't second it. So that triggers a provision in the Washington State Code where the Republican Executive Committee at the county level will submit 3 names, and then we have a strike process. Under the state code, the commissioner with the most seniority, which would be me, strikes first, and then Commissioner Tennant would strike second. So the Republican Executive Committee did exactly what they were supposed to do. They sent us 3 names, very qualified people. Of course, Jared Page was one of them, the Republican nominee. And then there were 2 others, Austin Gessel and Edward Burgess, both from St. Albans, both very qualified to serve. And 7 minutes before our commission meeting, we get letters from Mr. Gessel and Mr. Burgess saying, "Hey, we want Jared to be the pick. He's the Republican nominee. It's only fair. And if you pick us, we're not going to serve." So that was a bit of a wrinkle, something that we had not anticipated. The way that we proceeded, though, was the Washington State Code doesn't call for, once someone is on the list, for them to be able to kind of back off the list because it's submitted by the Republican Executive Committee, not by the individual. So we disregarded those letters. We went through the strike process. I struck Edward Burgess, and quite frankly, I called him the night before and told him I was going to strike him because I didn't want there to be any hard feelings. And then Natalie Tennant, struck Jared Page, the Republican nominee, and that left Austin Gessel. So here we are. We're expecting to have a third commissioner at the meeting once that selection is made, and Mr. Gessel had indicated he was going to serve. What happened after the meeting, though, thankfully, I think several prominent Republicans reached out to Mr. Gessel, and I also contacted Mr. Gessel. And I said, listen, you were selected. I understand you wanted Jared Page to be on the county commission, but that didn't happen. We can't play politics. We can't play games. If there are only 2 county commissioners and something would happen to Natalie Tennant or to myself, all county business stops. And I don't think people appreciate that. When there's only 1 county commissioner, you do not have a quorum. And so, for instance, payroll doesn't get paid. Our sheriff's deputies wouldn't get their paychecks. Our county commission employees, circuit clerk, prosecutor's office, everything would come to a standstill. Then it would go to the governor's office. The governor would appoint a county commissioner, and then whoever the 2 are would appoint a third. So that could take months, and that's not good business. So we spoke with Mr. Gessel last night. He has agreed to serve, and we're very thankful for that.
So Ben, I have to ask you. I can understand. I can understand that if Page is the Republican nominee, how they would feel that way. But wouldn't the time have been to say that to the executive committee? Hey, we can't do this because we have reservations. I mean, were they sandbagging on you a little bit, buddy? I don't know any other way to say it. Is that what happened?
Listen, I think it was a little gamesmanship. That happens. I mean, I've never really considered the county commission political. It ought to be an apolitical position, but it has from time to time turned political. Certainly it was last night. And I think they probably should have said that, but honestly, we all know what they were trying to do. They were trying to force Commissioner Tennant's hand. Commissioner Tennant didn't have it, and she struck the Republican nominee. Now, thankfully, so I'm just kind of disregarding the letters. I think the good thing is we have a third county commissioner. He has agreed to be sworn in. He'll be sworn in. I think he's going to check with his family, but I think we're looking at Thursday, and we're going to have a third county commissioner. And I believe he's going to be the youngest county commissioner in Kanawha County history. He's only 27 years old.
Kanawha County Commission President Ben Salango joining us. Ben, I chuckle because I've covered local government, most of my career, a lot of it here in Morgantown and Montague County. This is the level where 2 things. One, you should be I think this is where you need to be extremely active because county commissions have a direct impact on you, whether that's through property taxes or if the ambulance service is going to pick you up if you're having a heart attack, I can go on. But secondly, local government should also be where you say something along the lines, oh, yeah, I forgot he or she was in that party because it really shouldn't come up at this level because you're making decisions that really aren't blue, red, or indifferent. It's about the best, the best for the community. So,
and let me say this: I have been consistent from the beginning. I don't think you play politics with this position. I think you never put politics over people. I've known Jared Page for a long time. He's eminently qualified. He's a municipal judge in St. Albans. He had 22 letters of recommendation, including all the way up to Senator Shelley Moore Capito. So I thought he should be the one who served. But listen, I've yet to find any individual that agrees with me on all things, including my wife. And Commissioner Tennant didn't agree with me on this. So, and that's her decision, and I respect it. So we have to move forward. But the last thing that I want to do is only have 2 county commissioners on the commission because bad things can happen and crazy things can happen. And if there's only one of us, then, the county's in a very precarious position. So we were able to get by that. But if you go back to the first time that we've had a vacancy, in 2017, there was a vacancy, and that's how I was started on the county commission. But then we also had 2 vacancies in 2024 when Kent Carper resigned and Natalie Tennant was the Democratic nominee. Obviously, she sought the appointment to that vacancy. I advocated for her. She did not get it. Of course, I didn't take it to a strike system. Perhaps I should have, but the county had already been through enough. But we didn't go through the strike system. We chose Mark Slotnick. Mark Slotnick was the county lawyer. He was qualified. He was a Democrat. He was in the right district. So we were able to pick him, and we just kind of moved through the rest of it seamlessly. Although I had advocated for Natalie Tennant because she was the Democratic nominee. Fast forward a few months after that, Chuck Miller, our beloved prosecutor in Kanawha County, decided to retire, and he recently passed away. But then Deb Russick was up. Now she's a Republican. We selected the Republican nominee to fill that vacancy. So my thought was I wanted to be consistent. I supported the Democratic nominee when there was a vacancy. When Kent resigned, I supported the Republican nominee for prosecutor when Chuck Miller retired, and I supported Jared Page, and will continue to support Jared Page after there was a vacancy in the commission when Lance Wheeler took the ambulance authority job.
So, Ben, quickly, should there be changes after last night's stunt and what happens? Do we need changes in the process?
No, I don't think you need changes. I think what you need is to let this play out. Because I think people can watch the same situation, that scenario last night, and some people are going to think that it was a disaster, and some people are going to think that the process worked out the way that it should. But I tend to think that even though there was high drama, it did work out the way that it should, and we're going to have a third commissioner. Even though it wasn't my choice, I was supporting Jared. We've got a commissioner, and that's really all I care about.
Kanawha County Commission President Ben Salango. Ben, I have a feeling we'll be talking to you again pretty soon. Take it easy, buddy. Thank you.
Look forward. Thanks.
Take care. With all the craziness, don't you just want something steady, something you can count on a Friday night? For the last 25 years, you can count on Fred Persinger. We'll talk to him next.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. Fiber is now at your front door and even in rural areas and communities across West Virginia. Thanks to broadband expansion funding, your tax dollars helped make it possible. And CityNet turned that investment into real connections for local families and businesses. Now, you can get blazing fast fiber internet with free installation, free equipment, no long-term contract, and local customer support that's always close to home. Don't settle for slow or no internet for another day. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
In West Virginia, community is everything. It's about showing up for each other. Ben Salango and the team at Salango Law don't just work here, they live here, proudly sponsoring local events and giving back to the neighborhoods they love. So when you're facing a serious injury, trust the local team that's always in your corner. They spent over 25 years fighting for West Virginia families. Salango Law. Get results, not excuses. Visit us at salangolaw.com.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
It's good to have options for your family or employees. Rooted in your community since 1979, the health plan is your trusted partner. Get flexible coverage, exceptional support, and competitive rates.
The health plan, we are here for you.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
A lot of patients come here without much hope, and I think we can give them hope.
We offer a full spectrum of interventions suitable for every kind of person that walks through our door. We do absolutely everything we can to help you achieve your family building goals.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. Thank you for 23 years, Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
On the next State of Minds.
I was in liver failure, and I was told I needed to quit drinking or I was going to die, and that was at 36. When he invited me to church, all the hair on my arms, my chest, my back, it all stood up. You're taught to love, you're taught to forgive, and there's a reason for that. It lets you be healthy and lets you move forward with a vision for your life that's not defined by what happened to you.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
High school football already kicked off. Handful of games last night. Full slate of games coming up later tonight. Many of these same stations will have ball games on this evening. Many of these same stations will also have Fred Persinger and Dave Jecklin on the air once those games conclude. MetroNews High School Game Night returns for its 25th season, and Fred joins us from the studios in Charleston. 25 years, Fred. Can't you find anything else to do on a Friday night?
That's what my wife said. What my wife really said was, how come game night can't be Friday and Saturday?
Ha! Really?
Now, I don't know what that meant, but
I know exactly what that means.
We both do, Dave. We both do. No, I'll tell you what. Sometimes when I think about it, and I've been thinking about a lot about this week, just because it's here. 25 years to start. 25 years, our silver anniversary, and it's just been Dave and myself. Amazing, it really is. But again, that tells you, and I say it all the time, but it tells you what high school football and Dave, you're involved in it every Friday night. You see the crowds. That's what it's about in West Virginia.
Fred, were you just sitting around one day, you and probably Dale Miller, and you came up and said, you know what? Let's do a Friday night high school scoreboard show. I mean, how did it develop?
Well, we had a Friday night scoreboard show before game night. It was on the network, 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then it increased to 30 minutes. And then it was not me that said, I think we ought to do this. Mm-hmm. It was Dale. Mm-hmm. And Dale said, I got an idea. And the idea was game night. And, of course, I named it. He didn't know what to call it. And he said, I think it's a good idea. I think it'll work. And I want you to be the host. Well, Dave Wilson, you know Dale Miller.
Yes.
When he says, I think you ought to do that, you do it. Mm-hmm. You do it. I respect the man more than anyone will ever know. His idea, I'll give him 100%. His idea, and we took it and ran with it. And he said, what are we going to call it? I said, we got a lot of, we'll call it game night. He said, I like it. Let's do it. And then that was in October the year before it started, because I was still doing Beckley Flying Eagle football at the time. I was still running out that contract. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't available on Friday night at the time. So he said, we'll start it next year. And I said, okay, we'll do it. And here we are 25 years later.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing.
The amazing part, you know this business, Fred. For one show to run 25 years, that's amazing. But it's just been you and Dave Jecklin, and the two of you, I think, combined have missed, what, 2 shows over the 25? 3.
We've missed 3. I've missed 1, and I was on my way to Morgantown from Charleston and had a pretty bad car accident. And I was in Ruby Memorial. And, I mean, I was in the, I don't know what they get, triage, and they were cutting my clothes off, and I could barely see out of one eye. The other one I couldn't see out of at all. And I looked up, I saw Dale Miller, and I said, hey, tell him to hurry up. I got a show to do. And he said, son, you ain't going anywhere tonight. So I missed that one show. And then Dave, God love his heart, Dave's an attorney in Morgantown. He was a radio guy. He used to work for us, but he's an attorney. And he took one Friday night off because it was the birth of his daughter. Mm-hmm. I thought that was important.
Yeah.
So he left for that. And then the other night, a few years later, his wife was sick and in the hospital. And I thought he should be with his wife. But that's it. That's it. That's all we've missed.
Did you ever have any fear about getting every score when you started this thing across the state of West Virginia and think to yourself, how am I going to do this? How are we going to get every score by the time we go off the air at midnight or a little later?
I guess the first year maybe we had that, because the first year, you got to remember, when we started 25 years ago, there was the internet was not what the internet is. There was no cell phones and all that kind of stuff. But right now, today, I have no fear at all, because I have Joe Nelson from our Morgantown office and 3 other we have one young lady, Sophia Wasick, who produces this show, I think, most of the time.
Yeah.
Sophia and a couple of other gentlemen, they get my scores, and I don't worry about it. And I tell them, though, all the time to start the season, if you don't do your job and get the scores, I can't do the show, because you can't do the show without the scores.
Well, yeah.
Simple enough. And they do an excellent job. Honestly, Dave and I like to say, well, we're sweating. We got to get this. Usually by 10:30, we have every score. And we still have an hour and a half for the show. So, I mean, they do a tremendous job. But it used to be, back then, we'd call all the convenience stores and all of that stuff. I had at one time the telephone number of every ambulance driver in the state.
Smart.
Yeah, because
they're there.
They have to be there. So you could call and say, hey, what's your score? And they'd say, oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. I'd call a convenience store, because before Clay Battelle moved to their brand new field, there was a convenience store right below outside the fence of their old field. I'd call that convenience store. And honestly, the gentleman I'd call and I said, hey, you know the score of the Clay Battelle game? And he said, and he knew after a while, he said, hang on, Fred. And he'd look out the window and look over okay, and give me the score.
I love West Virginia.
Game night does not work in any other state, I'm made to believe.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right.
I do. I just don't think it works anywhere else. It's all about high school football. It's all about the fans. It's all about the radio play-by-play guys like your Dave Wilsons and your Kyle Wiggs and your Fred Persinger II and all these guys that call the show after their game. And not only do we get the scores, we find out who the individual was that led the team that night. And then we get coaches on and all of that, which makes the show really round out into it's a fast 2.5 hours. It really is a fast 2.5 hours. We don't really have time. Once I sat down to do the show at 9:30, we come on 9:30, I don't get up again. I really don't. I'm right where I am the whole 2.5 hours.
And he'll be actually right here in my seat later
I will
tonight.
be.
Metro News High School game night coming up on these same Metro News radio stations following your local high school coverage. Fred, looking forward to it. I'll talk to you about 10:30 tonight, buddy.
You better.
I will be there.
You make the show go, my friend. Thank you, buddy.
Fred Persinger, Metro News High School game night coming up later tonight. Back to wrap up hour number 1 in a moment.
Your heart deserves the best. And at the WVU Heart and Vascular Institute, you'll find world-class care without leaving West Virginia. Our cardiology experts offer everything from routine screenings to treatment for complex heart conditions. Using the latest diagnostic tools and minimally invasive procedures, we focus on your long-term health so you can stay strong for the moments that matter. Call 855-WVU-CARE or visit wvumedicine.org/heart.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now, you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. And being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Kanawha, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now. A couple of million could go a long way. The Lotto America jackpots start at $2 million and grow until somebody takes it home. Drawings happen every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday with 9 ways to win. Even the smaller prizes can feel like a big win. Just $1 to play, in-store and online, 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. Current jackpot is $3.12 million. Get your chance at manageable millions. What are the chances Chris Stirewalt's in a good mood today? We'll find out in 6 minutes. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's MetroNews television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Got you an update on your forecast. Made it to a Friday, and we made it to some high pressure and mostly dry weather for a while. In Charleston, with our frontal passage, we missed the hit or miss accumulated rain yesterday. Not enough for a number. Officially a trace at Toledo, so our August to date precipitation remains at a very high 10.33 inches. Our second wettest August on record, if that's where it ends up. Total over the next 5 days, our next chance of showers will be like Tuesday night into Wednesday. Again, it'll be a while until we're favorable for rain again. Some southeastern areas of the state, though, locally had some either severe level winds or wind damage with storms yesterday. You still have a general chance of a thunderstorm today. That front is near stationary. It's mostly into Virginia that have the isolated severe weather, but in far southern and eastern areas of the state can't rule out a morning thunderstorm and then another slight chance in the afternoon. Charleston, we're favored to be dry and sunny. Fly Saver forecast, it starts at home. Spots like Orlando, Tampa, and Florida still watching for heavy rain and some 90-degree heat out there. Charlotte, risk of some scattered flash flooding in the Carolinas. They're at 87 today. From Panhandle to Panhandle, dry. Highs near 80, give or take. Mostly sunny to partly sunny skies and perhaps some dense fog in the morning for areas of the state again. Highs in the 70s and 80s out east. A slight chance of an afternoon shower and storm. Highs mid to upper 80s in the eastern Panhandle. Across our northern areas, it's generally near and east of the high terrain, where a slight chance of a shower and storm does exist today. And a slight chance down to the south as well. Not expecting strong or severe weather this time. And Charleston, expecting it to be dry for a while. We do have a warming trend, though. Some increasing warm to hot conditions and humidity late in the weekend and continues early next week. Highs in the 90s, topping near 94 on Tuesday. Wednesday, chance of rain and thunder.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Second hour of MetroNews Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios. Made it to a Friday. Steam release, bottom of the hour, your chance to vent. Talk about whatever you want, and we will let you do it. 800-765-TALK, the phone number, 304-TALK-304, the text line. Kyle on the phones, Jake handling the video stream. Say good morning to our great radio affiliates in and around the great state of West Virginia. We appreciate you letting us be part of your day. If you're watching in on the MetroNews TV app, Facebook Live, and YouTube, we appreciate that as well. We'll get to some of your texts. Got a lot of them to get through before we turn it over to Steam Release at 304-TALK-304. Chris Stirewalt joins us in a moment. Say good morning. TJ Meadows down in the Encova Insurance Studios in Charleston. Good morning, TJ.
Good morning, sir. You ready to call ball tonight? As Fred said, you ready to go?
Yeah. First week of the season is always the worst, only because a lot of your information just doesn't even exist yet. Coaches are still trying to figure out, who's going to play left guard, even though they know they won't want to tell you for some reason. But otherwise, looking forward to it. 15th year doing the Mohegans. So
spot chart done?
Yes. Finished that up last night. Buddy, I'm ready. I don't know if the restaurant is picked out yet. That's Hallbritter's job, my color guy. He picks out, we got to go to Parkersburg, so he picks out where the pregame meal is, and then we'll head over to Stadium Field from there. We got this figured out, man. 2 longest relationships, my wife and my color commentator. That's
I'm glad you mentioned your wife first, so you were smart enough to do that.
Jenna's 19 years and John's 15 years, so, what can I say?
Okay, all right.
Let's bring in Chris Stirewalt. He is the politics editor for The Hill and News Nation, host of The Hill Sunday on News Nation, and he's a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, author of books on media and politics. Good morning, sir.
Are you always this aggressively shaved? I just looked. Is this how hard you go on your dome? Am I forgetting?
Yeah. Well, I will take it all the way down. That's actually zero blade. I will go all the way down, but the missus doesn't care for that for whatever reason. So
Yeah, because you look like somebody I'd run away from in a parking lot.
Well, let me tell you. I'll tell this story. I've told it on the air before, Chris. When I was working in Winchester, Virginia, fresh out of college, it's my first job in news. My news editor sends me, or news director sends me to cover a capital murder trial. And I'm coming into this late, okay? This is the sentencing phase. They had settled for life in prison this is Virginia, instead of pursuing the death penalty. Quadruple murder case. When I walk in, I sit down where the judge has told the media to sit. I'm just getting the stink eye from everybody in the courtroom, and I can't figure out why. Until they walk this guy out, and I go, oh, he could be my brother.
Yes, exactly.
Shaved head, beard, goatee. And I go, oh. I don't know if I'm going to be getting sound from the family today. I think I'm just going to sneak out the back. So the look doesn't help you very much sometimes. So.
No, you definitely look like somebody who runs 2-a-day practices in August. So you got that going.
I'll take that as a compliment. Things back to normal for DC now that the race is over. The Indy cars are gone. The IROC cars are gone. Everything back to what constitutes normal over there.
I'm sorry for my dyspepsia last week, but certainly DC has taken note of West Virginia's current Hatfield-McCoy situation with father of baby dog and your governor. That is certainly won everyone's attention and of course, because I'm a West Virginian, people are like, what is going on with that? Why is the governor and the Senate, why are they having a flame war on Twitter about somebody's resort hotel? I was like, brother, it goes deeper and is weirder than you know. So just let it be. Just let them fight.
Letting him fight. I told Hoppy yesterday, it's like a guilty pleasure. You watch it and then you feel bad for having taken it all in. But it made me think this morning, I was thinking about this. Do we as the electorate, Chris, do we want entertainment or do we want leadership?
Well, I mean, I think so. I am ethnically Presbyterian. I am of a Calvinistic stock, and my preferences for worship tend in that direction: ascetic, spare, no stained glass, plain pews, white walls, all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But even that is performative in its own way. Its lack of performativeness is performative in its own way. Now, my Roman Catholic brothers and sisters who are going for smells and bells and painted plaster saints on the walls and all of that stuff that I find distasteful, that's more performative, but mine's still performative. We want, as people, to be made to feel. We demand to be manipulated, right? As a species, we want emotional feeling cues about, okay, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? Why does this matter? So it's a question of degrees. We all want. So maybe let me ask it like this. I don't know who you would consider the most successful or best governor of West Virginia. I don't know who you would say is the person who is the ne plus ultra among West Virginia governors. Whoever that person was performative, right? Was doing stuff. It was bread and circuses, because you got to play politics. You got to shake it. You got to let them know how you feel. I would say that the question isn't whether we want to be entertained or whether we want good government. The question is, what are their proportions? And I would say the proportions in West Virginia are profoundly skewed right now. It is a profound skewing away from good government and toward. Every time I look at West Virginia politics, it's ugly, right? It's a fight. It's nasty. It's all that stuff. And I can say that that's sort of the West Virginia way, because I sure remember that. I can also say, though, that it is a function of being a one-party state. If the Democrats were a credible threat in West Virginia, If somebody thought that a Democrat could win statewide in West Virginia, the Republicans would behave better, because look at what's going on with Democrats in Georgia or Michigan or places where they're in massive fights to try to win Senate seats. There's a high premium placed on get your act together, act like you know what you're doing, put away your old divisions. In a state without a second party, as West Virginia has been now for a while, there just isn't a credible sanction from the voters to demand good behavior, so it allows people to behave badly.
Chris Stirewalt is joining us here at MetroNews Talkline. Let me, for just a moment, because I don't know how many people find media discussions all that interesting, but we eat it up, though. The performative. We spent, I don't know, TJ, what we spent, a segment or two yesterday talking about the Twitter slap fight on the program, and then we all went, how much we hate social media. But we eat it up, so I don't know. It's the chicken or the egg question, Chris. Do the politicians, do they perform because we eat it up, or do we... Are we to blame? I guess is the question. How much is media culpable in the performative politics that we flock to?
Profoundly, right? I mean, that's a huge part of why. That's a huge part of. Look, these are the poisons in the dose. Some is fine, and I like to be with you guys because you're not like that. I love talking to you guys because I think you're trying to do a good job, but you're still allowed to have you shouldn't beat up on yourself. You're still allowed to have a little fun. You're still allowed to talk like how about this? You're allowed to be a rubbernecker if you also have called 911. You're allowed to slow down and look at the wreck if you have also called 911.
That's fair. I'm going to use that one.
Can we put that into our T-shirt business as well?
Yeah, I think so.
We got a lot of catchphrases, bumper stickers. We're looking at bumper stickers too, Stirewalt, so maybe that'll play into it. Your weekly column, Whole Hog Politics. What do you write about this week?
Write about the president blaming Republicans for not being enough like him, and that the reason that they're losing and lined up for a midterm shellacking is because they haven't gone deep enough into MAGA, and that the reason that the voters are dispirited is because congressional Republicans have not supported him enough. And I guess I would say there is some truth in that, right? If you were to take a survey of West Virginians and say, what do you think Congress ought to do? They would say whatever the president wants them to do, because I assume the president still has got to have a 60% approval rating in West Virginia, at least, right? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a number, but he's got to be hugely popular still in West Virginia. And so if you were to ask West Virginians, what's wrong? What are they going to say? They're going to say, these dumb Republicans are fighting him, and they're making it too difficult for him to make America great again. And consequently, they will like when the president attacks Republicans. Unfortunately, in swing states, which is where elections are won and lost, the president's super unpopular. The war is unpopular. The trade war is it's unpopular. And what the candidates in those places need is not proximity. They need distance, and they need the chance to move away from the president on these issues. And he will not afford that to them. And that is hard. That makes it hard.
I was having a conversation this morning with a friend of mine that considers himself to be a politico. He is he pays attention. He's not your average, goes to work, browses the headlines. He pays attention. But he said something to me, and I wonder how widespread this sentiment is with President Trump. Voted for Trump 3 times. He said he'd vote for him a 4th time. But he said, I'm just so disappointed in this second term. Not that he was necessarily, anti-Trump anymore, Chris. He just said, I'm just so disappointed. And I thought, boy, I wonder how many people share that same kind of, and maybe apathy right now for the second term. Just not what they were expecting.
Burnout is real, right? Yeah. Burnout is real. People get burned out. And it's the too muchness. Do you care about Lake Ontario? I don't know. I don't know whether Lake Ontario versus Lake America, whether you care about that. but the trollishness of it all, even if you like, I think there are a lot of Americans who voted for Donald Trump, who either voted for Donald Trump or didn't vote, or who were very much. Think back to January of last year when the president took office. He had a net positive approval rating. America wanted him to succeed. We're like, all right, here we go. Get the Biden and that stuff out of here. Let's go. And I think that the expectation among many people was that we would go back to sort of 2019 Donald Trump, right? Which is after he had suffered the slings and arrows of his first year, took his midterm beating, and was sort of housebroken a little bit. The economy was good. Donald Trump would have been reelected in 2020, but for the way that he managed COVID response. Whether you think it was too much or too little or whatever, the national consensus was that the administration bungled COVID. And I think were it not for that, he would have been reelected in 2020. I think
looking at Hoppy's, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, looking at Hoppy's commentary, he had the West Virginia numbers for Trump. I didn't have it in front of me. He's actually +6 here. Wyoming has him at a net +14, Idaho +9. Those are the three states where he's still in positive territory.
So I think the expectation, to your point, of that things are going to be like they were, they haven't been like that. And I think there's just a lot of fatigue. I think the exhaustion of, what are we doing today? We're fighting with Canada about lake names. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot.
He's Chris Stirewalt. Catch him Sunday morning on News Nation, The Hill Sunday. He's the politics editor for The Hill News Nation, fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, author of books in politics and media, and I do believe we'll see you next week.
Let's do it. Let's get together with the elites and Baby Dog.
We'll do it. Chris Stirewalt. Chris, always a pleasure, buddy. We'll see you.
Bye, y'all.
Take a break. We'll get to some text while we can have a discussion, a dialogue. 800-765-TALK is the phone number. You can text us 304-TALK-304. This is Talkline from the Kanawha Insurance Studios.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
Approach your retirement with confidence. With over 150 years of combined experience, the advisors of the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group provide advice and wealth management strategies to individuals, families, small businesses, professional offices, and institutions. With the Stike team, you'll have access to an advising team with extensive resources, a client-first mindset, and a passion for helping transform the lives of those we serve. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike today and join the team that's dedicated to your success.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
You're listening to Talkline on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discovered tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniel's.
A lot of patients come here without much hope, and I think we can give them hope.
We offer a full spectrum of interventions suitable for every kind of person that walks through our door. We do absolutely everything we can to help you achieve your family building goals.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. Thank you for 23 years, Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
This week on the Metro News Television Game of the Week powered by GoMart, the Grafton Bearcats travel to Philip Barber for the Week 1 matchup. Join us Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. for complete live coverage from George Breyer Field. Watch live on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook. Bearcats versus Colts. Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. The Metro News Television Game of the Week powered by GoMart.
304 Talk 304 is the text line, 800-765-8255. The phone number. Looked up and saw Howard Lutnick on television. I go, oh, that can't be good. If Scott Bessent's on television, I feel okay. If Howard Lutnick's on television, oh, that can't be good. Well, I mean, it seems to kind of work itself out that way.
He's probably talking about what Warsh said. You know, the Fed's having its big conference out in Jackson Hole, and I'm trying to watch and read while we're live here, but it looks to me like Warsh has concerns, I think rightfully so, about inflation. And he acknowledged that, quote, inflation is, while this summer's inflation readings were better than expected, they do not tell me that underlying trends have meaningfully improved. That would be to infer that the economy is still, inflation is still running a little hot.
Okay.
So, yeah, market seems to like what he's saying.
Let's get to a few texts here, 304 Talk 304, before we get to steam release. Texter says, I've had multiple encounters with Tom Bloom. Each of them have been unpleasant. First one was when I was 20 years old, dropping off a book for a student at UHS. I was wearing a baseball cap, and he was screaming to take my hat off. I kept saying, I'm not a student here. No. He was power tripping full back then. He seems to be the same now. I did not remove my hat, says the texter. I'm conservative. I feel flock cameras are good because if you're not a criminal or breaking laws, us law-abiding citizens have no worries, says the Toddster. Sounds like Natalie Tennant was playing politics, didn't want Page to run as an incumbent. Natalie Tennant will see that the commission is as political as it's been in years, says the texter. Somebody sharing a Google Calendar? That's interesting.
Sorry, I'm married.
Was that you?
No, I said, sorry, I'm married. Did the person trying to invite me? No, never mind. Went right over. Yeah.
Sorry, that was my bad. Let's see, 304 Talk 304. Many forget that in 2014, you know, I'm not sure about that, and I don't want to get, sorry, I should have read it first. Where's all the Republican outrage of Trump's $40 trillion debt? They cried so much about it under Biden, I hear crickets. TJ? Crickets?
I feel like we've addressed this before. I'm just going to take a pass.
All right. Recent polling has Trump +6 in West Virginia. Yeah, we got that off Hoppy's numbers. And I brought that up to Stirewalt because I was really the guy I was talking to this morning, and he's not just an average schlub. I mean, he pays attention. Well, that was his sentiment, was just disappointment. Whether it's Iran, whether it's tariffs, beef imports, because it's been a disappointing Trump 2.0. And I go, I bet a lot of people think the same way.
Look, for those of us who are still traditional conservatives, this isn't conservatism. It's just not. And I think it only that feeling is just a microcosm, I think, of Trump's second term. It's just I don't want to say night and day, but there is a stark difference.
304 Talk 304. Dave, your buddy sounds like a guy who has touched a hot stove multiple times if he'd vote for Trump a fourth time. Well, look, a little exaggeration to illustrate a point, but you get what I was saying. All right. Steam release coming up. Your chance to vent, get it all off your chest before we head into the weekend. You will be able to steam unfettered. By the rules of Steam Release, we are not allowed to respond, so you can text, you can call, you can complain. Hey, if you got a positive Steam, those happen every now and again. Those are welcome as well. Here are the two ways to participate. You can call us at 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. You can text us at 304-TALK-304, and you can be unburdened as you head into the first high school football weekend of the year. 800-765-TALK and 304-TALK-304. This is Talkline on Metro News. Metro News is the voice of West Virginia. It's 11:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Meteorologist Joe Hansel here. Got you an update on your forecast. Made it to a Friday, and we made it to some high pressure and mostly dry weather for a while. In Charleston, with our frontal passage, we missed the hit-or-miss accumulated rain yesterday. Not enough for a number. Officially a trace at Toledo, so our August-to-date precipitation remains at a very high 10.33 inches. Our second wettest August on record, if that's where it ends up. Total over the next 5 days, our next chance of showers will be like Tuesday night into Wednesday. Again, it'll be a while until we're favorable for rain again. Some southeastern areas of the state, though, locally had some either severe level winds or wind damage with storms yesterday. You still have a general chance of a thunderstorm today. That front is near stationary. It's mostly into Virginia that have the isolated severe weather, but in far southern and eastern areas of the state can't rule out a morning thunderstorm and then another slight chance in the afternoon. Charleston, we're favored to be dry and sunny. Fly Saver forecast, it starts at home. Spots like Orlando, Tampa, and Florida still watching for heavy rain and some 90-degree heat out there. Charlotte, risk of some scattered flash flooding in the Carolinas. They're at 87 today. From Panhandle to Panhandle, dry. Highs near 80, give or take. Mostly sunny to partly sunny skies and perhaps some dense fog in the morning for areas of the state again. Highs in the 70s and 80s out east. A slight chance of an afternoon shower and storm. Highs mid to upper 80s in the eastern Panhandle. Across our northern areas, it's generally near and east of the high terrain, where a slight chance of a shower and storm does exist today. And a slight chance down to the south as well. Not expecting strong or severe weather this time. And Charleston, expecting it to be dry for a while. We do have a warming trend, though. Some increasing warm to hot conditions and humidity late in the weekend and continues early next week. Highs in the 90s, topping near 94 on Tuesday. Wednesday, chance of rain and thunder.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
On the next State of Minds.
I was in liver failure, and I was told I needed to quit drinking or I was going to die, and that was at 36. When he invited me to church, all the hair on my arms, my chest, my back, it all stood up. You're taught to love, you're taught to forgive, and there's a reason for that. It lets you be healthy and lets you move forward with a vision for your life that's not defined by what happened to you.
Days, evenings, weekends, and holidays. You cannot predict when you'll get sick or hurt, but WVU Medicine Urgent Care is prepared to help you when you do. Our team treats minor illnesses and injuries and performs services like on-site lab and imaging, vaccinations, and sports physicals. WVU Medicine is ready to assist you and your family when life happens. To find the closest location near you, visit wvumedicine.org/urgent care. It is Friday. Let's go.
I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
All week long, you sit around, you watch this show, you listen to this show, you watch other shows, and you go, you know what? If I had my chance to tell them what I think, this is what I would say. Well, this is your chance. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number if you'd like to release your steam. You can also text us, 304-TALK-304. You can vent about whatever it is that is troubling you, so you don't have to take that burden into the weekend. Couple of rules we always like to remind you of. Number one, you can vent, and we will not respond. You can vent about the current host, past host, or even future hosts who have not even been named yet, and we will have to let you do that because that's in the bylaws. Secondly, please don't get us sued or fired. Thirdly, keep them tight. We'll get as many steams in as possible. Other than that, it is all yours. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. Text lines 304-TALK-304. Let's start in the Northern Panhandle. Hank, you're up first on Steam Release. What you got, Hank?
August 28th is National Red Wine Day. Ernest Hemingway said when he was near death, his only regret is that he didn't drink enough red wine. So go out and get a bottle for Ernest.
Hank, have a great weekend. 800-765-TALK. Let's go to Mike in Morgantown. Hey, Mike.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
My theme is all of the useful idiots that are in this country. You know, supposedly when the Russians ran the old Soviet Union, they would refer to members of their population who believe their propaganda as useful idiots. And today, it seems like the social media platforms are the new vehicle for this propaganda, and it's sad how many Americans we have out there that fit the definition. I'll give you a few examples. These Democrat Party socialists that are destroying the Democratic Party is one example. Another example, 16% of the population thought it was okay to shoot that healthcare executive because it was such a dire situation. These people are just unhappy, miserable people who aren't willing to put in the effort to get what they want out of life, and they are just mad at society, and they're being manipulated by our adversaries, and they're doing their best to destroy the country and admit it. It's a sad situation that we have so many of these morons in the country. Thank you.
You are welcome,
Have a
Mike.
good one.
You as well. 800-765-TALK is the phone number, 304-TALK-304. Back to Wheeling and Steve. Hey, Steve.
Hey, after watching that Cameron Clay Battelle game last night on the Metro News app, I'm thinking Clay Battelle is going to need about 7 more transfers from 100 to get to be claimed back-to-back public school champions.
Steve, have a good weekend. Appreciate it. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Donnie in Tucker County. Hey, Donnie.
Hey, Dave, how's it going?
Great.
Well, I did what you said. I went to the window, and I stuck my head out and yelled, but I forgot there was an air conditioner in the window, and it fell 2 stories and smashed a cat on the sidewalk, and I'm just wondering who's going to pay for my air conditioner.
Donnie, have a great weekend, bud.
That was a joke.
800-765-TALK is the phone number. 800-765-8255. Let's go to Dale. Hey, Dale.
Hey, TJ and other guy.
Sup?
It's Dale Lee. I really like the bumper sticker business. TJ's BMW has one that says, I heart the zipper merge. Speaking of love, I sure wish all these politicians would get along. We all need to calm down and celebrate the kids at game night. Go Tigers. And TJ, that was me trying to share my calendar with you to align our karaoke nights. You did great with your Dolly Parton tributes. It brought a tear to Uncle Dale.
Dale, appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Y'all are in rare form today. 800-765-TALKS, the phone number, 304-TALK-304. Let's get some text in here before the break.
All right, here we go. Trump just renamed something else. Texter sends along a nice map of the San Andreas Fault with the name San Andreas crossed out. Instead, it reads Joe Biden's faults. Very nice. Lake America. Now a governor wants to change Lake Michigan to Lake Wisconsin. I think it's the perfect time to change the Ohio River to Mountaineer River. Let's go further. Cincinnati Carrot Tops and Marshall Minions. What a great mascot and uniform, says the texter. Really appreciate the numerous pro-Trump political commentators you guys invite on your show. My steam, the audacity of Dave McIntosh and the Club for Growth thinking they can come into West Virginia and buy a governor's office is maddening. Dave, why not replace Steyer cult with a UFO report? Both are equally ridiculous. Hold on. Trump is a pragmatic leader, not a conservative leader, says the texter. You radio guys need to call these Trump people out. That's out of touch with most Americans. If you haven't done anything, you've nothing to worry about. The very anthem of Nazis, says this texter. TJ's shirt looks like one of those 3D pics you stare at and have the image jump out at you. I've been staring and the word data popped up, says the texter.
800-765-TALK. 800-765-8255. 304-TALK-304. Off to a strong start today. Rob and Huntington, you're up first. When we get back, this is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now, you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play. Wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
For decades, ZMM Architects and Engineers and Omni Associates Architects have served communities through excellence in design and client service. We're not changing that. We're building on it right here in West Virginia. ZMM and Omni are now part of Aterna Group, a collective of established architecture and engineering brands built on local leadership and committed to enriching community life. For our clients, that means the same local experts, relationships, and commitment they've known for years, now with even more support and resources. Find out more at zmm.com or omni.design.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Kanawha, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. And being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
On the next State of Minds.
I was in liver failure, and I was told I needed to quit drinking or I was going to die, and that was at 36. When he invited me to church, all the hair on my arms, my chest, my back, it all stood up. You're taught to love, you're taught to forgive, and there's a reason for that. It lets you be healthy and lets you move forward with a vision for your life that's not defined by what happened to you.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
CityNet is West Virginia's local internet provider. High-speed, reliable fiber internet is probably right at your front door. Now is the perfect time to connect. Local customer support you can trust, perfect for working from home, streaming, gaming, or running your business. Fast, reliable fiber internet built for everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects. Phone number is 800-765-TALK. The text line is 304-TALK-304. Back to the phones. Let's go to Huntington and Rob. What's up, Rob?
Hey, good morning. We just came back from Las Vegas, and the betting odds is they say Trump will lose the House. And the reason why, stupid things he says, he wants to change this and change that. He's done nothing for the economy. He's done nothing for groceries, for housing, or nothing. And I tell you, at one time, Las Vegas was one of the safest cities you could go to, and now it's a disgrace, a mess. There's homeless people, drugs, prostitutes everywhere. I mean, crime has exploded in this country in the last 25, 30 years. I mean, I don't know what's going on. It wasn't that way when I was growing up. Thanks.
You're welcome, Rob. Have a great weekend. Larry in Lumberport. Hey, Larry, what's your steam?
Concerning school aid, Doddridge County is the case study on how to succeed in rural West Virginia in the rural United States. When you ask them how they went from worst to first, they tell you. They tell you right to your face. It's the teachers. It's community. It's a good process and good administration. And remember, it's not the money. So every county in rural United States and West Virginia needs to study Doddridge. Mimic what they do, and when the school aid and when the legislature looks at this, remember, it's not the money, it's the process.
Larry, thank you for the steam. Have a great weekend. 800-765-TALK. That's the phone number, 800-765-8255. You can text us, 304-TALK-304. Back to the text line.
Bit of housekeeping. Just remember, if you text again before I read your first text, you go to the back of the line. I'm getting some grief on that. The way the system works. Sorry, I have no control over it. Texter says, I heard Ethan will be selling, quote, I love flock camera bumper stickers in Morgantown to help Talkline's NIL deal with WVU. Steam, please stop wasting time trying to rename Gulfs and Great Lakes and claiming Hormuz is ours and keeping your campaign promises of stopping wars, not starting them and bringing down prices. In other words, do your job, please. This texter writes to inform us that Canada geese are now Donald Ducks. What's up? I think they meant Ethan Collins. They said Ethan Jenkins. What's up with Ethan Collins keeping Stirewalt's volume so low for half of his segment? Stirewalt can't piss people off if they can't hear him. I have zero sympathy for American farmers with Trump's beef imports. They voted overwhelmingly for this idiot. It's called Democratic Socialist for the uneducated, says the texter. I don't flock cameras, but I've got to tell you, the behavior of the people in that meeting with the cussing and snide attitudes, talking about that Mon County Commission meeting, those are some of the reasons that I left the Democratic Party years ago. These people are not just rude, standoffish, and loaded with blind hatred. They are plain nasty, says the texter. Steam, after almost 10 years of calling everyone who does not agree with them, or if you text while I'm reading it, it goes away too. Okay, 304 Talk 304. Let's reset. Sources say white smoke rose from the chimney of every Tudor's biscuit world when Mike Hawkins was announced the starter for WVU football, says the texter. Good morning, guys. Just curious. Is it part of AM radio talk show training to express how, quote, crazy it is every time one calendar month ends and another is about to begin? It's either a time-filling radio tick or you guys must really live life in the fast lane, changing seasons every few months. Who'da thunk it, according to the texter. The Flock Company has started this mess with flock cameras. Kudos to their sales force for convincing the government officials that this is something needed. Then they run to the bank with all of the money from our cities and counties while monitoring our travel data. Stop the nonsense. A teacher wanted to teach her kids about Trump being a convicted sexual predator, and she was told not to go there. Call me a moron. Please define socialism, because I think West Virginia is 80% socialist. I thought you clowns were for personal responsibility. Why am I spending my dollar every year rebuilding flood zones? Move. Why am I paying for rural broadband? You want it. Personal responsibility says you pay for it. If this is not socialism, what is?
800-765-TALK. Let's get to Benny in Lewisburg before the break. Hey, Benny.
If the United States was socialist, we would never have heard of Dolly Parton. She'd never been allowed to get ahead. Think about it.
All right, Benny, appreciate it. 800-765-TALK. That's the phone number. You can text us 304-TALK 304. Last call for phone calls, last call for text. Let's finish strong as we head into the weekend. Steam release continues. This is Talkline from the Kanawha Insurance Studios.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
It's good to have options for your family or employees. Rooted in your community since 1979, the health plan is your trusted partner. Get flexible coverage, exceptional support, and competitive rates.
The health plan, we are here for you.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
A lot of patients come here without much hope, and I think we can give them hope.
We offer a full spectrum of interventions suitable for every kind of person that walks through our door. We do absolutely everything we can to help you achieve your family building goals.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. Thank you for 23 years, Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now. A couple of million could go a long way. The Lotto America jackpots start at $2 million and grow until someone takes it home. Drawings happen every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And with 9 ways to win, even the smaller prizes can feel like a big win. Just $1 to play, in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The current jackpot is $3.12 million. Get your chance at manageable millions. Last call for phone calls at 800-765-TALK. 800-765-8255. Last call for text, 304-TALK, 304 to get your steam on. Let's get to those text steams, TJ.
Trump wanting to rename the Dory Miller after himself is disgraceful and pathetic, in my humble opinion, considering the conditions on the Abe Lincoln and the stupid state of war is his incompetence as commander-in-chief and his ego in action. Rename Lake Okeechobee to Trump Swamp or Trump Reflecting Pool. It's all the gas money. It's all the gas money. Can we somehow get a high school football game that ends within the margin of error? Asked the texter. Hey, Larry, it's natural gas that's making the schools better in Doddridge County. They have more money than they know what to do with. Come on, get a life. Tell the caller. No, I'm not doing that one. Can't do that either. If we should rename anything, it's the Kanawha River. The body of water is and should be the new river. Hey, Dave, you should eat this evening in Parkersburg at Mary B's Diner. Get the baked steak. It's really delicious. Ethan Collins, Ethan Jenkins, Zach Collins, or Zach Jenkins, whatever he wants to be called, fix the volume. Respect Stirewalt. No one wants socialism. Doddridge County Schools gets all their funding from the oil and gas companies and don't accept state aid. Someone is comparing apples to oranges. This texter says Clay Battelle finally crossed midfield. I hear their coach just ordered trophies for everyone. TJ, looking at all these West Virginia mountains brings a tear to my eyes and reminds me of home and Dolly. Every program out there is a socialist program, including Social Security, says the texter.
304-TALK, 304. That is the text line. Couple of more minutes. We can squeeze in another text or two, maybe even a phone call. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Don't forget, we've got you all set up over at the website, wvmetronews.com. We've got the complete high school football scoreboard. We'll have all the scores posted tonight. Had a handful of games last night. We've got those results up at wvmetronews.com, including highlights and a recap of Cameron's win over Clay Battelle in the SSAC Kickoff Classic. Fred and Dave will be back later tonight for Metro News High School Game Night 25th season for Fred and Dave. They'll have interviews, scores, recaps from around the state following your local high school football coverage this weekend. Well, tonight. I was going to say this weekend, but tonight. College football kicks off next weekend. Mountaineers will take on Coastal Carolina. Marshall goes to Penn State next Saturday. And I don't think we've announced this yet, but no time like the present. TJ and I are taking the show on the road next, Wednesday and Thursday. we will be at the West Virginia Chamber of Commerce's annual business summit at the Greenbrier. And we've got I think we're actually working a little bit ahead this time around. And I got a pretty good guest lineup coming up. So we'll be on the road next Wednesday and Thursday down in White Sulphur Springs. Looking forward to it.
I have been flooded with invitations for golf. Everybody wants to golf with me at the summit.
Are you going? You take anybody up on it?
Probably not.
You're going to go to the Greenbrier. You're not going to throw your clubs in the back of the car?
I got other plans. I already made other plans.
All right. I just figured, a golf extraordinaire such as yourself.
I'm going to be in and out.
Have you played one of the courses down? Have you ever played the White course?
No, I haven't. I haven't played down there. No, I haven't.
Well, you could check that off I don't know if it's on your bucket list or not, but you could check it off the bucket list.
I mean, I guess I could. It's not really, I guess. I had made other plans to do other activities. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind and I'll golf. I'll put the clubs in. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll get some peer pressure going. Peer pressure always works.
Oh, yeah. Love that. Just love peer pressure.
Follow the news of the day over at the website, wvmetronews.com. Good luck to all the high school football games going on tonight. Getting Fred and Dave coming up later tonight for Metro News High School Game Night. For the entire crew, Kyle on the phones, Jake running the video, and TJ, I'm Dave. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Monday morning at 10:06. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.